Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the ESL UK Premiership. My name is Munchables, and joining me once more is Jackie. And we're ready to get into the third and final game of our first semi-final here between the Working Men and United Estonia. And what a semi-final it has been so far. You promised us a bloodbath in this match, and this has definitely lived up. We had Dust 2, we've had Cash. Now we're moving on to Mirage, and we've already kind of touched on the subject. Mirage is a very different style of map for these two teams to be playing.
Exactly. I mean, both of these are heavy mixed sides. You've seen that represent their play style as well. It's that classic sort of UK style. They just want to bring the action as fast as possible and really just pop off individually. And it all has come down to that. Whoever's sort of had those more flamboyant plays and been able to back it up with their individual talent. But now moving on to Mirage, there can't be as much of that. The map doesn't allow you to be so ridiculous. And the thing is, it could be quite a scary one for United Estonia. It seems like we've always seen sort of shaky results from them when that map has been able to leak its way through. But especially for the Working Men, they feel at home on it. It's always been sort of home ground. Their setups, especially on their CT side, have always been heavily dominant. So this could be sort of the Working Men's way to just swipe things under and take it as a 2-1 victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And I fully expect to see kind of highlight plays coming out in this one as well. Mirage is a map that lends to that kind of there's a lot of kind of funnels and things for a lot of people that have to go through. So there's a lot of room for big plays coming out from these teams, and that's fully what I expect to see coming out from these players. And we saw that the Working Men on that second map, obviously they actually managed to take the second map, which is an improvement, but a lot of the players felt a lot more warmed up. It felt like the shots were much more on point, just in general. Like Robin especially just felt like he was a bigger influence on that second map, and that it's really kind of brought it home. And you know, Joe stepped up for United Estonia as well. So United Estonia, you know, they're waking up as well, but the Working Men managed to take that advantage, and now we're moving on to our third and final map. It is going to be Mirage, and we'll see who the players are that are going to step up in this one. It's all about Fry for me right now. If he can make this happen for his team, then they're looking fantastic. And I think, to be quite honest, for the Working Men, the highlight player right now has just been T-Sack. He's been so consistently good in this series.
Yeah, T-Sack really has been quite heavily dominating. It's been great to watch him just sort of going mental with these fantastic plays. And that's the thing as well. You are right. Fry, he's the man that needs to go huge here. Mirage has always been his domain. It's the map where he does just go absolutely crazy round after round. And if we don't see that now, I don't feel like we're ever going to get that chance to really see him to his full potential on LAN.
That might just be the case, because let's remember, this is a best of 3, and it is single elimination. Whoever loses this map is going to go into our third and fourth place match later on today, but it does mean that they won't be able to go for those finals. The 9th round looking to be going the way of United Estonia, but I mean, this is a very, very different situation to the other two maps we've played previously. And Jacob actually going to clutch the 9th round. Go Jacob. You can hear the whoops in the background as well. But yeah, so the Working Men are going to be able to pick which side they want to go on this one. And I think this is a much more important map on which side. Like Cash and Dust 2, it's not the end of the world if you don't get the side that you prefer to start on. Like it's a fairly even map, generally speaking. Mirage, I would say, is much more kind of CT-sided than those other two maps.
So here's the thing as well, on a map like Mirage with mixed teams, it comes down to sort of your CT side as well, relying heavily on which team can just have that more on-point aim at that point in time. If you're on that CT side and you have your aim switched on, and you get these pushes, you're going to be able to shut down the majority of these quite effectively. That CT side has always been sort of more welcoming to those mixed sides a lot more as well, so that's probably going to come into effect here.
Here we go. The game is underway. It's going to be United Estonia on that terrorist side to kick things off, and the Working Men ready with those USPs. We've got a 5-7 in the hands of Robin as well. Interesting that he's gone for a 5-7 on that first round. It's quite a heavy investment, but you know, if you can land those headshots at long range, it can be very, very effective. And also, good armor piercing as well, so if you just go for those body shots, you can go through the armor that you're likely to see on this terrorist side. But the very, very quick execute on towards A is going to be the call, and immediately just backing away from the Working Men. They want to go for a retake.
comes that push towards the A-bomb site. Alexi on the close angle. Unfortunately, couldn't find a frag. Jacob and Robin doing a fair bit of damage. They take down Boaster and Mick. There's Jacob, the follow-up frag as well, on towards Joe. And it just rides on Che. The last Estonian left standing in the entire squad as he's tapping away with this Glock. Wants to find a frag, but it won't go his favour. Robin takes him down with a 5-7. Only 2 HP remaining on him. And that's the working men to kick things off with a pistol round over on Mirage.
Yeah, very, very quick round to kick things off as well. The working men, the second they sniff that it's going over to the A site, everybody just charges across the map. And I like that right at the start, they just held back. You saw T-Sac was hanging around boost, but the second he saw those players coming, backed away, waited for the rest of his team to arrive, and then went back in, went for that fight once it was a little bit more even. And it does pay off for them as Chetty managing to open things up onto Robin with a nice little scout kill. And the scouts have been so influential within this series between these two teams. Now United Estonia, if they can win this one, then we might just have another kind of bloodbath on our hands, fighting tooth and nail for this series. Obviously, first place is going to mean a whole lot to both of these teams. They need to win this to stay in the running for it, as Dudley tagged incredibly low. Trying to get that shot onto Chetty, but he just can't find his target.
He's going to go for the push behind. We'll get a bit of information as well. Could actually catch them off guard. As you can see, Chetty on the rotate has the angle. And we'll be able to punish him for that being a bit too loud. Gave away his position. So that's quite nice. Obviously, though, it's still going to be a 4 versus 4. These pistols in their hands can be quite effective if they can land these shots. Alexi could be a little bit of a dangerous player if he does some damage. Needs to get that first frag, though, on towards Dudley. Has to give him that breathing room. Dudley, he's such a key man into this round. Could rip through everyone. He actually gets one frag before Alexi is able to sniff him out. And now it's a 3 versus 3. That bomb hasn't gone down yet as well as Mick fell.
Certainly did, and the bomb will finally go down. Alexi going to get that just as it bullets flying through those boxes aren't quite going to hit their targets. And now it's going to be the retake coming on in. The Famouses, the SMGs are going to be coming into play if they can find the shots. Alexi is going to get the first kill, though, and he's traded straight back by T-Sac. And now there's a couple of terrorists still remaining that both got Tech 9s to work with as the defuse is going to begin, but Boaster shut down as he tries to stop this. Joe, it's all on his shoulders right now. If he can land the headshots, the Tech 9 is more than capable. But it is going to be T-Sac finishing the round off in the end. I believe it was just a simple P2000 kill to finish it. And it means that the working men, they do manage to get that second round on the trot, but it was not a simple task.
That is crazy as well. So down to the wire there. Good things for the United Estonian side into that one, forcing out so many rebuys and getting that bomb planted. They couldn't have asked for a better round on the eco.
They really couldn't have. And interesting kind of force coming out here from the working men. What do you reckon to go in with the SMGs here when you know there's an eco, but it means that, you know, if you don't get the kills with the SMGs, you might not be able to afford a rifle next time?
Yeah, it's that risk, but obviously they need to go for that right now as you have to build up that economy. The SMGs will rip through your unknown opponents, as you know they're going to be restricted in their actual overall economy. So most likely going to be skimping out there and just quite an easy weapon to utilize in those positions.
Certainly are. Well, the Famous in the hands of Robin is going to do a whole lot of damage and a nice little volley as he spins around and takes the head off of Chetty. Swapped straight back as Mick gets one and then goes down. It's going to be 2 versus 3. The Deagle in the hand of Alexi as well as Armor. Definitely could do some damage here if he can find his targets, but Fry pushing onto this site is going to get full blinded though, and that means that there's an opportunity here for Boaster, but the shots just aren't going to find their targets right there. And Fry gets away just about with his life.
Boaster and Alexi biding their time as they go for this slow play. Boaster, you can see, panicking a little bit, wants to find the frag. Fry is very low, has that Glock in his hand on burst fire. We'll be able to dispatch him with a single burst, but won't actually be able to go that way. Now just Alex hiding by Delpun, just listening out to see what the opposition is going to do.
Does have that Desert Eagle as well. Oh, misses his shot though. That whiff could have cost him his life because now they know exactly where he is and he's going to get pushed on very aggressively. The SMGs, as you rightly said, easily able to rip through that opponent, and now 3 rounds on the trot for the working men and United Estonia. They've got some rifles to work with, but double AWP strategy coming out here for the working men. Still an SMG in the hands of Fry, but I don't think he minds that too much considering how well he's been doing with it. I'm curious to see where Dudley and Jacob are going to set up on this one. Who's going to go to mid? It is going to be Dudley on this one. So he's going to be able to look for that first kill. Just trying to get a shot through the smoke. He's not really going to be able to find his target though. Jacob actually heading over towards the B site.
Slow round into this. No one really going overly crazy. Should be a nice night actually coming out here. Transfer a little bit of damage on towards Robin. Bounces too far on the angle. So I can get that tag off. Ooh, Mick landing a nice shot as well. Actually takes down Robin as he snaps his neck. Clean back. And they have that advantage in the manpower now. Going to go for the counter boost that could be quite risky. Dudley is there, AWP in hand, but luckily starts to reposition, so they will be able to slip through unnoticed unless he just holds the angle. It depends on Dudley's play here. We'll just be holding it for the meantime. Has it covered, pulls the trigger, and Chetty goes down. Boaster also falling to Jacob. So this round looking not too fantastic for United Estonia. It gets worse as well as Alex E just waddles into the crosshair of Dudley, still holding the same angle. And there's T-Sack, he's been lying in wait for so long. And then I've not one, but 2 frags to polish that one to the end.
Simple round for the working men, and that duo of Dudley and Jacob, both of them with those snipers doing absolute work for their team, and now they're starting to get themselves into a nice little situation in terms of cash. They've still got a fair bit to work with, and you know they're going to have the win or loss bonus coming through next round as well. 4 defuse kits to work with it as well. It's going to be an interesting one for United Estonia. They need to kind of halt this strain at some point if they can, but Dudley is not going anywhere. Finds 2 down mid, and you know, he's going to be happy with that one. Happy to just back away now. Boaster does manage to find 1 CT, but they've got to do more damage than that. They've got to really try and hurt the economy right now of the working men. Boaster has found himself an AK. Maybe he can make something happen with this, but you know, against those 2 AWPs, 2 rifles, it's certainly not a pretty picture for him.
Oh, definitely not. And that bomb as well, going to be quite hard to attempt to recover at this point. Could scuttle his way back and grab it if he wants to do so. It would be a little bit awkward. A minute left on the clock. I think overly aggressive coming out from the working men, but they have started to go for that final push, get that map control. They're going to sniff out the location of the bomb scene, and that's where things go very sour for Boaster.
Absolutely will, but here he goes, sneaking on through, does manage to find a good headshot onto Jacob. That's one of the AWPers down as well. Could be crucial coming into this round, and still 50 seconds to work with. Let's remember, he doesn't have to rush here. He's got a lot of time on his hands, but there's a player behind him sneaking through apps. I think this might be... Oh, actually, Robin not actually pushing too aggressively here. He's just going to sit on the bomb, and Boaster has actually found himself a 2nd kill. So actually, very, very doable at this stage. Both players remain in, only with the rifles, not got those AWPs to play with. But now it's a task for Boaster. He has to try and push in, and the mollies are going to be more than enough. T-Sack finishing that one off with an M4. And I mean, to get 2 kills in that situation was fair play to Boaster. I think like he did more than was expected of him.
Yeah, it's more than you can ask for a situation like that. You know, you didn't really think he was going to be able to win the round. Bomb was in an awkward location at that point as well. So outnumbered, and it's just unfortunate. So anything you can get is great. But that's a scary factor, Joe. Obviously, they got those 3 pistol rounds, and now they're on round 5, still working their way through, winning these rifles and just keeping the ball rolling. It's looking a bit scary for United Estonia.
Yeah, so far, this is the most convincing half we've seen out of a team yet. We haven't seen a full 5 rounds on the trot from anyone at this point until just now. Or at least not straight off the back of the pistol, but it's going to be T-Sack. Ends up trading 1 for 1. I don't think he'd quite noticed that 2nd player until it was too late, really. Robin has managed to find Joe. United Estonia, you know, they managed to find that trade early on onto T-Sack, but it's just falling apart from them, it feels like. Mick and Boaster, the last 2 remaining players, but Robin is going to be able to find Mick, and suddenly Boaster, once again, finds himself in a 1 versus 4. He's got the bomb, but, you know, it's going to be so difficult for him to actually achieve anything with this one, especially when you can see that he's actually going to go for an interesting smoke here. Straight onto the roof and near the B site. Not quite sure that was where it was meant to go to, but there you go. Is going to try and push over to Palace. I think he was trying to get a smoke over towards the B site to try and sell the fact that he was going there. Yeah,
he wanted to try and get that smoke over. I think it's one that Guardian did quite a while ago. Basically just goes on towards the B bomb site, makes them think you are going to be working your way towards B, possibly at top mid or by short. This is good though. Spots out Robin, gets the Molotov out to force him to push into him, then the damage is obviously there from the start. Easy kill for him, but he has to take down Dudley. That's going to be the hard one. The angle so easily covered when you've got the AWP from that position, and just pulls the trigger in his own time and removes him.
Yeah, Dudley has been just exceptional this game, really. And let's have a look at the replay. Obviously, the molly coming on in forces down that player, and I mean, it was good. Again, Boaster stepping up, does manage to make something happen in just an uncomfortable situation. But the loss bonus is starting to rack up now for United Estonia, so they are able to just keep on consistently buying these AKs. And I feel like at this point, for United Estonia, it's just like, let's just keep on trying to win these duels until we finally get around behind us. Finally actually make something happen here. It's going to be tricky as they decide to push on towards this A side. T-Sac going to be hanging out around Dark, and he's going to be able to push. Should be going huge right here. Does find one headshot, turns it into a second as well. Ends up going down to a molly. I don't think he was that near to be quite honest, but there you go. And it's going to be Chetty now, the last man remaining. And once more we see a member of UE 1 versus 4.
Let's see what he can achieve here. An awkward situation to be in, but has that rifle in his hands, we know how effective he can be, but unfortunately won't be displaying his skills today as Fry lands one between the eyes and removes him. 7-0 up now. They are showing no signs of showing down. Here we can see as well T-Sac still consistently just tearing through the opposition round after round.
Yeah, and there you go. And unfortunately, that molly was the end of his life, but he certainly pulled it out for his team. And now 7-0. The working men looking very, very convincing on Mirage. And this is kind of what we were saying before, you know. The working men, when it comes to Mirage, might just have that advantage, might just be in a better situation. And so far, it's definitely looking that way. The set pieces seem to be in play, and just holding these sites more so efficiently. And United Estonia, it feels like, you know, I want to say they're like a tsunami pushing onto the shore of the working men, but right now, it just feels like a bit of a wave, and they're splashing against a brick wall.
A dainty drizzle.
Indeed, indeed. Well, there we go. This is going to be another round going the way of the working men, as Joe finds himself alone. Does have a take 9, but it's not a whole lot he's going to be able to achieve in this one. Just going to try and get the bomb down, maybe try and get a couple of headshots, but will get shut down. No, it's 8-0. The working men, after 2 incredibly close maps, just like fighting back and forth for 2 full maps, the working men have kind of just said, you know, we're kind of done with this. Let's just dispatch this squad of United Estonia.
Yeah.
Pause is going to be coming out, and I'd assume that's come out from United Estonia. I think this is a tactical pause coming through.
So this is what I was kind of saying though, right? You get into this, the working men, a seasoned team on a map like Mirage. They've always proven that they enjoy playing it, they love playing it, you know, they've always been one of those forefront sort of maps that you needed to veto when it gets into that. It's been left in, it's got into this decided map. It all comes down to this, and to add insult to injury, they start off on that CT side. Their CT side on Mirage has been ridiculously dominant every time we've seen it, and it's just crazy. I mean, I can't even really point out what UE need to change right now. It just seems, no matter what they do, it's just not finding their way through that final hurdle. The working men just time and time again are being able to just obliterate them and just remove them.
I think the issue as well is it feels like UE are just losing these duels. They're just not hitting their shots right. And the thing is, in that situation, it's kind of just a snowball that continues to roll, continues to get bigger. And when you start missing those shots, when you can't get it to work for yourself, it's very difficult to kind of just get back in the zone and find that form once more. And maybe UE just kind of ran out of steam heading into this map. It certainly feels that way right now, but hopefully this tactical pause from them will have changed things. As we head into the 9th round of the game, we need to see something coming out right now. And Joe as well. Joe was the biggest player for United Estonia last map. Now he's down at the bottom of the scoreboard, and we need to just see these individual players step up and show why we herald them as these great individual players.
They need to go back and really just chirp up. Everyone needs to bring the action. It seems like the amount of fun and the confidence behind them that they had in these prior maps when they were bubbly, even when they were losing. As soon as they won that round, the hype was there. It just seems like that's gone out the window. They need that first round to try and reinvigorate them. And Alex C is going to be the man to kick it off. He will take down Dudley. Leaves 4 more remaining CTs on the side of the working men, but they have to try and eliminate them. try and pick this one up. Joe will actually kick it off as well, takes down T-Sack. Robin responds as he removes Boaster, but it's a 3 versus 4, looking fairly healthy as they make their push on towards the bomb site. Joe takes some damage from behind, but can now be aware and tell his teammates that Robin is located over by ramp. Alexi wants to get the bomb down as well, but Fry comes in, takes down Joe as he can make his play from CT. There is a pincer play that could potentially come out here. They weren't aware of Robin's location as well somehow. So Mick takes damage from behind and remains on 3 HP.
Yeah, we've talked about Robin being this standout player, finds 1 kill and could turn it into more. It's 2 versus 2 all of a sudden. Robin on 11 HP though. And Estonia need this round if they want to stay in the tournament, to be quite honest. Robin does go down though, and it's going to be Fry on 20 HP, gets taken out. And Alex E making it happen. United Estonia, you can hear them in the background. They finally get around on the board. And do you know what? I'm going to call something here.
Okay.
That's a very risky call for me to make, but I'm just going to say it anyway. 8-7 end of this half. United Estonia, I reckon they're going to pull it back, and I think we're going to have as close of a map as we have been seeing from these two teams. I think United Estonia, after that pause, are going to get themselves together here.
I don't know, it seems too close for comfort there, and the thing is, if they lose this round, their economy is going to be reset. I think this is going to still be a dominant half from the working men. Early mid-aggression as well, catching Alexi off guard. Fry looks like he potentially wanted to try and do some more damage as well. Didn't back off in the end, but this is looking scary.
Yeah, it certainly is. They lost their first player, and Alexi was the player that kind of finished off that last round. He's the one that won them the 1 round. They do have to work with here. As Robin shuts down Chetty, and I'm already starting to get cold feet about the decision I made of calling the comeback. But there we go, Mick does chime in for 1, gets T-Sack down, and 3 versus 4, certainly not an impossible round, but against the AWP as well, and with Robin being on form, certainly not going to be an easy task.
No. We're going to have to drive a hard bargain to pick this one up. Outnumbered 2-1. Yeah, I've got the elevated angle here for Boaster as he gets lifted up, but look at this crossfire. This is fantastic. Dudley working together very nicely with his teammate here, Fry. So as soon as Boaster tries to cross, even if somehow he was luckily able to get that shot off on towards Fry with an awkward peek, Dudley could trade it out.
Yeah, and they're well aware of where he is, misses the shot, but then immediately ducks, making sure that the trade can't come on through, and it's going to be Robin again on this boost spot. Does get shut down by Boaster, so Boaster with the bomb can get onto this site right now. He doesn't know that there's one on CT and there's one from Connector as well. Gets shut down eventually. And that is going to be the working men back on top of things. And not only have the working men got another round for themselves, they've also thwarted any economy that United Estonia had. They had that loss bonus ticking over. Now that they won a round, it's all gone.
I mean, this is what I was saying, right? Because it's the fact it's taken so hard for them to finally get into that position where they were able to step up. They finally scraped through around by the skin of their teeth. Instant reset on their economy. It brings that wave back down. Everyone's back to that all-time low. They're going to struggle now into this. Only game changer is they've actually tried to go for a bit more of a flashy play. They're going for the mid-aggression. It's not going to work out too well, though. Robin instantly with a first shot takes down Mick. Joe's going to hit the ground as well. Dudley doing what he does best. He just snipes away with this AWP to remove Alex E from the situation. And now it all rides on Chetty and Boaster.
Jacob looking for a pop flash. Will be able to get onto Boaster, who's completely blind. They've got the bomb and they've got the round as Dudley finishes things off. He's got himself a nice little hat trick, and that's a 10th round on the board. This is honestly starting to look very, very bad for United Estonia, even heading into the second half. 9 rounds down before this half is even over. It's a dire situation, in all honesty. United Estonia, they basically can't afford to lose any points at this stage.
That's the thing, and it's going to take them so long to actually get that loss bonus back up that they're just in an awkward spot. It really does just put a dampener on the rest of the half. Once again, trying to hit him with the aggression. Robin bites in time before he has to go for the peak. Not only is there 2K, there's the 3K, and he'll have the 4th one as well. Takes down Joe as he just rips into him. Completely unaware, blissfully unaware that he was just hiding behind, and all he had to do was just waddle out and hold mouse 1 there.
Just look at this. Just annihilates them. This is a buy round as well. They all have rifles. Nobody checks that angle. Nobody watching towards Firebox, and Robin single-handedly just wipes out the squad from United Estonia. And that's, I think, if you're playing for United Estonia right now, having a round like that when you're already in this kind of situation, in terms of like mentality, that's just going to be the nail in the coffin, I think.
That's the demoralizer. If you're not already at the bottom there as well, and you can see the players seem like they've lost that edge.
T-Sack's having a go
maybe
now.
This is one as well as T-Sack. Wanted to try and live up to what Robin just did in the previous round. He'll have a 4K.
Yeah, this is getting brutal right now. United Estonia, they've got to pull something special out of the bag. If they want to stay in this game, if they want to go into our grand finals, United Estonia have to make something happen. We've heralded them as this dark horse, and they were proving it in those first 2 maps that they could go toe-to-toe with the working men. But we've got to see that same team. And so far in this map, it's just not been there.
See, but this is the thing, Joe. This is the working men we saw throughout the group stages. This is their home. They're here on Mirage. We've seen how effective they can be, and that CT side as well, just dominating. Luckily, Joe, he wants a bit of a revolution. He's had enough of this oppression. Finds the headshot on towards T-Sat. They do have the man advantage, finally getting the opening pick, and they get some more as well. Boaster chimes in with one. Chetty takes down Dudley, and it rides on Robin. All of a sudden, his teammate falls, so it really is just him left, fighting it out as a lone ranger. Takes down Alexi as he lands the headshot, just tapping off a few pot shots. But can he continue on to get a 4K? Actually claim the ace and claim the round.
It's going to be the question. I'll be very impressed if he can with just that AK. And he will get shut down by Chetty as he tries to peek connector. And it is going to be a stone. You can hear them cheering. Despite being down 10 rounds here, they're looking for a 3rd round to finish the half. They're still whooping. They're still cheering. They've still got that morale, which, honestly, fair play to them to actually still be in this right now, like mentally-wise.
Shows a lot of courage there to sort of try and keep yourself up, and definitely that confidence within yourself. I mean, both of these teams have always had very effective CT sides, but the working men were definitely the one from the season that always outclassed any other. So it's going to be hard to beat that, and it looks like they've just been dominating as well. I mean, round after round, even their aim's been on point. Everyone's just been popping off. Joe, he did well on Cash. He's starting to do quite well on Mirage as well, but unfortunately his team hasn't really stepped up as well as he has, and Jacob will find the frag over on towards his teammate Mick. Alexi and Joe are the last 2 men left standing. They're going to regroup. They do have the bomb, but they have to take down 4 more members of the working men.
Here we go. I mean, at the end of the day, whether they get 2 or 3 rounds, they need a miracle in the second half to actually pull themselves back into the game. Joe trying to make it happen, does get 3, but can't quite finish it off. And Robin, we said if he can step up, then the working men are looking great. Robin is dominating this map. He is taking this game well and truly into his own hands. And what a half coming out from these guys. And, I mean, Robin up on 24 for 8 right now. Absolutely dominating. And on the side of United Estonia, to be fair to them, they're all doing kind of consistently a similar score. They're all on 5s and 7s, which, you know, between them, at least they're on the same page.
Yeah. It's just no one's really been going that extra mile.
Yeah.
It is a shame as well, because you have so much talent there, but they haven't really been given a good environment to try and display that on that T side, on a map like Mirage. I mean, this is the working men. This is what we need from the working men. If they want to try and batter their opposition, really just rip their way through and leave no confidence left in United Estonia for this final half, and then ride off that hype on their way to the final. Because that's the thing, guys, if they pick this up, this is it. This is their spot in the grand final confirmed. They've made their way through. That'll be United Estonia, unfortunately, knocked down to play in that 3rd/4th place decider match. And Joe, you can tell both of these teams, they want that spot in the final. It's always been there, that urge. I mean, this would be United Estonia, unfortunately, not being able to defend their reigning champion title.
And, I mean, you say, these are the working men. This is the team that we've been looking towards, and these men are making it work right now. 13-2 is the score at the end of that first half, and all the working men need is to win the pistol, and the game's basically in the bag. At this point, United Estonia losing a single round throughout the rest of this game could well be curtains for them. They've got to just make it happen consistently here. We've got to see them step up, but the pistol is underway, so we should be able to jump straight back into the map for you guys and get this one kicking off, because 13-2 is the scoreline, and United Estonia, Mick pushing very aggressively, spots out that they are coming mid, so that's good information for his team. He needs to back away, not take this duel, but he's going to go for it and actually wins out, backs away, gets the reload, jumps on out at Dudley. Can't quite connect his shots though, neither can Dudley though, and gets his headshot finally. United Estonia might just be able to take this round, and it's going to be Chetty finding one more. Suddenly Fry, all alone down in underpass with only a Glock. This looks like United Estonia getting this half off to a good start.
That was actually really sick movement from Mick there as he just glided around. Look, I was watching Quake for a moment there. That's pretty awesome, but he was able to do an awfully good job. 3K on the board for him, and then Chetty cleaned up the leftovers. So they do get probably the most important pistol round of their lives. They didn't claim that. Essentially, it was good night. But luckily, they were able to do the hard job. 3 SMGs coming out, a little bit of an awkward buy. I don't know if I agree with that. If we would have seen just an all-out aggression play coming out from the working men, there's a lot of potential you can get overwhelmed. They do have 2 weapons for long range, one being the M4 on Mick. Chetty, he's going to show us just how he wants to use that MP9. Close aggression pops out, takes down Robin, and hunts for more.
He certainly will. And that was a crucial kill as well. With the armor that has been bought for the working men, this round could have gone south, but it is not going to, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not even a single player from United Estonia. It feels like all of them have just all suddenly stepped up at once. They're making these rounds happen. Despite the Tech 9 armor buy, they still find that round. The SMGs are going to be more than enough, and now United Estonia, they're getting a couple on the bounce. They're going to be up against a full eco here from the working men, which should be an easy take. Now, this is the kind of round where things can get really dicey. If they can lose this kind of round, then at that point, it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe you don't deserve to go to the finals. But I would expect this fully to go towards UE, and it's going to be Boaster starting things off against one, traded straight back across though, and these pistol players of the working men have to just back away.
Scurrying out as they just hold back for the meantime. The thing is, United Estonia, they don't really need to initiate, but Chetty, he is a bloodthirsty man as he peeks in. Nearly gets a little bit overconfident, knocked down 17 HP. I mean, that's quite a risky play they've attempted to go for. I like this boost as well with Robin. Chetty, if he would have tried to get out of there and reposition through CT like he's going to do so now, Robin has an easy, clean shot onto him. And they have the advantage in manpower now.
Certainly do. But it's down to this SMG, I think, in the hands of Joe and the hands of Alexi. Against these unarmored opponents, that can be more than enough to just single-handedly win the round. But the B site might just be the call. As the players move into connector, the bomb is at the other side of the map. Robin has found himself a FAMAS to work with. And we know how huge Robin can go. We've already seen that in this map. He has been the carry for his team. Still 40 seconds to work with. So the working men, they've got a lot of options right now. Dudley with the bomb over towards that side, but Alexi shuts down Robin. The FAMAS is going to be taken away from the working men. T-Sack has actually found an M4, so Joe is going to get shut down. Still the man advantage for the working men. Now it's going to be over towards the B side.
Push coming in towards B, as you said. Mix the last man left standing there. Has to try and defend it dearly with his life. Will actually find the frag on towards T-Sack. Spots the angle out of the second player as well, but Jacob is just holding him back, so he can't try and shut down Dudley. We'll get that bomb planted just in time. Can go for the backstab here. Dudley doesn't really need to peek. He's the last man left standing. Takes him down. Alexi found the frag onto Jacob in the meantime. And there's the defuse. United Estonia scraping through.
Yeah, and that... so close, but so crucial for them. And they get to take the 2 rifles through into this next round as well. That's an important factor, that it's not the SMGs they're taking through, it is those rifles, because those are the more expensive ones, but also those are the ones that are going to be able to take down these armored opponents that they know they're going to be up against. They know they're against the AKs now, and this is going to be a crucial round. And I think Dudley deciding, yeah, I think that moment there was, do I go for an AK, or do I just go straight up, get a little bit of armor, but kind of go like all in for that sniper? And with how well Dudley has been playing, I can't say I'm surprised he made that decision.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is what I wanted to see out of Dudley as well, because he is quite an effective AWPer. He really can be that prolific fragger for his side, but it seems like he always didn't really have the confidence in quite a few situations. But it's back now. You can see that in the peaks he was doing on Cash, and right now on Mirage as well. He's ready for these fights. He's taking those peaks, those one-on-ones, and he makes them work.
Certainly does. United Estonia down a man again. We saw this last round, but they managed to make it work. Joe has the AWP, and he's going to be forced away by that molly. Just to leave that situation. Gets the tag down onto T-Sack, but doesn't quite finish it off. T-Sack grabbing the bomb for his team. And Joe still going to hold this angle. Maybe he needs to back away a little bit. I think he's communicated to his team that the bomb was spotted, but they know that the rotation is possible, and Alexi shuts down Jacob. That should have been a kill to Jacob, surely. But Alexi makes it work. 5 HP remaining. Still holding on to these sites. 2 CTs at either of these sites right now.
Yeah, it's that 50-50 gamble, obviously. It's going to be hard wherever you end up going. The only benefactor for them is Alexi, quite low, 5 HP on him. They could pick him off fairly easily, but they have to get the drop on him from this angle. He's going to be the one to try and take the first fight. Unfortunately, couldn't get the shot off. Fry shuts him down, but there's Boaster through the smoke. Doesn't even need to see his opponents to just brutalize them as he sprays through and tears them to shreds with an absolute hailstorm of bullets. Joe comes over onto the scene to help out as well. Gets one on towards Dudley. It was nearly collateral as they lined up, and it's just Fry left. We'll switch out to the AWP. Only has 10 seconds. He has the plant now. Has the bomb. Tries to start it, but barely.
He's run out of time. He's run out of time. Just going to hold on to the AWP on this one. Fully expect him to just stay in this corner. Yeah, is going to do so. So another round for United Estonia. Fry does manage to bring this AWP through for this round, so that is going to be important for the working men. And, you know, we mentioned Fry is this player that has to step up, and I would have liked to see maybe a little bit of aggression from Fry. They've got spare rounds here. They've got a buffer of 7 rounds still that they can play with. Maybe if Fry had just gone for those peaks, tried to get that aggressive 2K, that's the kind of play that wins a game, right? Especially when you're on this scoreline. If you can make that play happen, you will just win the game on the spot. But decided just to hold on to that weapon for now. Looking to make this round work instead. Very convincing buy coming out from United Estonia, though. So this should be a strong defense.
See what the situation is going to be here. They're going to have to be very dubious in checking their angles. They need to clear everything as they're going towards the same bomb site as Chetty. This could be such a massive position if he plays his cards right. Pops out, we'll find that first frag on towards Fry. Here's the scope coming in as well, and Alexi actually is able to save him as he rails down T-Sack. Robin, unfortunately, will be able to tap him down, and the site push is going fantastically for the side of the working men as they make their entry. But Boaster once again with a 2K from over in CT. Mick with the final frag on towards Jacob as well. United Estonia, they are clawing their way back from the depths.
And, I mean, this is how close these two teams are. And, you know, this CT side for both of these teams is just so solid. And the working men can't seem to get around on the board from this half. And I think one of the crucial kills there was Chetty coming out of dark, shut down the AWP right at the start of the round. It meant that there was no entries available for the working men, and they had to push in with just those pistols. And now we're going to see United Estonia once more with a very convincing buy. Plenty of utility to work with from the AWP in the hands of Joe. Chetty with an aggressive push into Palace finds the opener for his team, and he's going to grab an AK no less. But now it's down to the working men. Dudley manages to trade that original kill back. Finds the shot onto Alexi. But still not convinced on which side they want to go for right now. Most of them still around their spawn area, just kind of deciding, waiting, trying to see if United Estonia will go for a push that's maybe a little bit over-aggressive. But right now, I don't think UE are going to risk anything.
Nah, UE just playing it nice and slow, holding back. They don't really have the breathing room to try and go for a more sort of ridiculous play to really shut things down. The scary factor is they're rotating very heavily, only leaving one man. It looks like he's going to start to slip off as well. This could be so massive for the working men as they could just slip their way in towards that B bomb site. There's all-out warfare kicking off towards A, and it has forced the mass rotate. They have that position in play as well to catch them off guard, but luckily Mick turns around at just the right time, snaps down Dudley, has to dispatch one more member on the site, grabs the bomb. It's going to be Robin, does spot him towards bench, can relay this information as well. His teammates starting to arrive, but Mick does it all on his own.
Yeah, and that's the kind of situation where you would expect a player like Robin to step up. You need a player like Robin to step up to that situation. You know, he was against Mick. Mick was down to about half HP as well. It was a very even fight, and with that AK, if he could have just connected that shot, it would have been a very convincing situation for the working men. You know, Robin in a 2 versus 1, I can believe that that situation would happen, but United Estonia again find another round, and suddenly this lead doesn't look as convincing for the working men. Just 5 rounds ahead, it's still an advantage, but it's certainly not indomitable. And Alex E, what are you doing, man? 4 kills coming on through. Robin, the last player remaining down in underpass, but he's not going to be able to do anything, and Alex E takes his ace. He's going to be very happy with that one, and he's going to walk away with his Tiger Tooth out.
So there you have it, the first ace so far, and I mean, that's coming off of Alex E being the man that really hasn't touched much of the game in quite a while. 4 hours in the past 2 weeks. That's what it does for you, Joe.
Well, maybe that's the answer. Make sure you're not burnt out, just
there you
coming
go.
fresh. But Alex E, I mean, there was a lot of eyes on him coming into this. It was kind of, are you going to be able to live up to HS? Are you going to be able to live up to FETS? And the answer is yes, right there. Again, that straight up ace down mid with the AK. And now the working men, once more, they've got those AKs. They've got that AWP. but it's about how little utility they have and how they can use those grenades to make this round happen for themselves.
So stuff into this one. Look at the mid control though. It's basically been given hands free to the side of the working men. They didn't have to really fight too heavily to actually take it. They can try and work their way up short a little bit later into the round if they want to do so. Boaster, all depends on the timing here. Oh, he actually does peeks out. Guess one wanted to get the follow-up frag on towards Fry, but didn't quite go his way. Robin with a nice angle as well can shut down Alexi. And this is unfortunate. This could finally be the time that they turn the tide of the battle.
Certainly could. They've got that advantage. It looks like the B site has been called for the working men here. There is still a couple of players around though. Joe going to be hanging out over towards Apps, trying to hold a nice little angle. He's not heard anyone just yet. They are going to be sneaking their way through Apps, but actually, as I say that, they begin the charge and Dudley shuts Joe down. Suddenly Mick on the scene. We've seen him hold this site on his own before, but can he make it happen again? It's going to be a tall order on 3 HP. He's dodging bullets left and right, but he is going to go down to Jacob in the end. And Chetty, he's got an M4, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough in this one. 1 versus 4, the AWP in the hands of Dudley as well, but Chetty finds one. He is going to be able to make this situation slightly more favourable for himself, but there's going to be Fright in the window. He's got a tag on just about everyone, but Dudley finally connects that bullet and will shut down his opponent. Robin almost on that 30 bomb right now, 29 kills. He's on double, basically, anyone else in the game right now. Robin, we said he needs to step up, and I mean, that is the definition of stepping up.
This is what we've wanted to see from Robin consistently. I mean, this is what we wanted to see from the working men, but all of a sudden it seems like old habits die hard, and as soon as they get into their T hard, stuff starts to slip away a little bit. The structure's not as gelled as it was previously, but Dudley, he's been very effective at getting openers in the previous 2 maps. This time around, he takes down Joe towards B. Will get warded off by the Molotovs. They have to back away a little bit, but this could be good. Plants a bit of a seed of doubt in the mind of UE. They're not sure where to stack, so they will divide 2-2 to a site. But look at the play from Alexi here. So much information is going to come off the back of this, depending on what he does. Spots out Jacob, will take him down. Unfortunately, Robin was close by on the scene, can get the trade. And it is going to be a 4 versus 3. B seeming like it will be the play.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Alexi needed to look around a little bit more first, check for threats basically, work out who biggest threat to him was at the time, and if he'd looked over towards the T-spawn first, maybe took out that player and then spun around to try and finish off Jacob. But either way, it's going to be Fry finding one onto Chetty, and United Estonia, they've had a valiant CT half, honestly, considering the score at the start of it. Mick does find another one, but 1 versus 3. It's still possible here. We've seen Mick already this game step up. We've seen him do ridiculous things, and he absolutely has to here. But it is going to be the working men taking another kill. Robin finds his 30 bomb finally. And it is now going to be the working men on match point. United Estonia, they have to win 6 rounds on the trot to stay in the tournament right now. If they want to go to finals, they can't drop another round. Check out that nice little snipe coming out from Dudley. Dudley has been a standout player with the AWP.
That has been really on point, yeah. Like, this is different as well. This is a different Dudley from what we're used to seeing, because a lot of the time it seems like we have these flashes of moments where Dudley can do this, but this has been quite consistent over quite a long period. So, I mean, if we can get more of this throughout this would be great. He needs to try and keep it going now into this final hurdle. 25 rounds in. 15 rounds on the board for the working men. They could shut it down right now, Joe. If you look at the economy over on the side of UE as well, smoke-wise, things are fantastic. They've already used all of those very early on. Still 1 minute 20 left on the clock. Also, Chetty, just rocking the CZ. He can literally only sort of play effectively from these close angles. It's going to be so hard for him to do really anything into this once that all-out aggression comes. And it is going to be a bloodbath on the A-bomb side.
Certainly is. Robin finding that first headshot. Chetty laying in wait, though, with the CZ, and he will be able to punish Jacob when he does try and peek it. Fry going to be on the scene and will get shut down eventually by Chetty, but it's traded straight back across, and suddenly we find ourselves in 3 versus 2. The AWP coming into play from Joe, though. He's made the rotation over towards CT. He's going to be looking for more, but the flash does force him out of position slightly. He's going to peek his way back over towards this site. I don't know if he knows that Jacob is in Palace. He should have an inkling of that. But T-Sac, I think, is about to peek him, and he will do so. T-Sac gets the kill. And ladies and gentlemen, after a very hard-fought game, it is going to be the working men taking this series 2-1, and what a series to start the day, honestly. Absolutely exceptional play from both teams.
Yeah, frag after just mental action. I mean, it was beautiful to watch. It's what we wanted to see.
Yeah,
we wanted
absolutely.
that all-out aggression. We wanted this adrenaline-fueled rage fest, and it came into that. You could see everyone was pumped throughout the first 2 maps. The final map, obviously, it seemed like it all got a bit too much. It was too big of a steep for them to attempt to climb their way back up, and unfortunately, they weren't able to do it. But very well played for the working men. Hints of what we saw throughout the group stage, and I feel like after seeing this, I'm confident that for them now into the finals, they're going to bring their A game, because that Mirage map was literally very reminiscent of the entire group stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, when it came to Cash, when it came to Dust 2, we saw United Estonia more than capable to step up to the plate. But the working men, it felt like if United Estonia could have just took a couple of rounds in between, you know, the domination of the first half from the working men, if United Estonia could have just grappled 1 or 2 more, maybe this game wouldn't have panned out the same way that it did. It was just the unfortunate fact that the working men so comfortably took a huge lead in that first half, and it was basically United Estonia had to play the game of their life to come back into that series.
I think if this would have been a 10-5, definitely UE would have been able to work their way back through on that CT half. We know how powerful they can be on their CT half and really start to batter their way back up, but that scoreline was just far too inflated. You know, it was so hard for them to really achieve anything, and that was basically their downfall. As soon as they lost 1 round, it was over, and you could just see how pumped up everyone was on the side of the working men. Like right there, Robin being able to just rip through the entire opposition. These don't even look like buy rounds. Obviously, that was the eco there, but the round against Robin,
yeah,
it didn't even look like it was a buy round. Just weird play coming out from Yuri. You can just see that domination here into the final round, obviously. 12-2, Joe goes down, and that is going to be a ridiculous half for them.
Yeah, it was just probably one of the most one-sided halves we've really seen, even in the Premiership, to be honest.
Yeah.
But this has been, all in all, one of the closest series or definitely some of the closest games we've had in the entire Premiership, and one of the closest series I think that we're going to see here at the playoffs. I think that was, like, in terms of how close the teams were, in terms of mechanical skill, in terms of strategy, it was so on the very edge of a knife. But all in all, it does end up going the way of the working men, and United Estonia are going to be knocked down into that 3rd and 4th place match. But it is going to be the working men, our very first grand finalist decided. Now, I believe, not sure, I think we're going to be getting an interview ready for you guys. So we'll be able to have a chat with one of the players from the working men, and we'll see how they're feeling off the back of things. But all in all, I think, what a way to start the day. What a way to kick things off here at the UK Premiership playoffs. The best way with that semi-final. I'm glad that it was that game first, because it was kind of, you know, this mixed team, just straight up, almost deathmatch play where you're just going for these kills, and we saw so many great plays coming out from both of those teams.
It was more sort of just about the flashy play and that sort of style of CS that you want to see. You want to see that real big sort of individual throw up now and then with talent just really popping off. And I think it did good to sort of show the skill of the working men. We saw that progression in where sort of they are on like a level playing field, and then their home turf as well. And it definitely would put the fear of death into the team they might be playing, possibly Infused or Reason, when they make their way into the final to see whoever they are going to meet. Obviously, they are now locked in. I'd be quite scared to go up against them on a map like Mirage. Obviously, you can see just how dominating they were in their CT half, and we knew that was going to be the fact. They've always been quite comfortable in their CT half on Mirage. It seems like things have always been quite stable. Mirage in general has been sort of a staple, even just on their way through, as we've seen progressions with player changes here and there. It seems that core of the team has always felt very comfortable and sort of Mirage as their home turf. So it's definitely a bit of a shocker for UE. Unfortunate for them, really.
I think one question I have for you right now is the tactical pause that came out from UE towards the end of that first half on Mirage. If that had come in earlier, do you think we might have seen a different score? Because beyond that pause, we saw a few rounds on the trot for UE, or 3 rounds on the trot for them. They managed to kind of make some kind of semblance of a comeback towards the end of that.
It's true. I mean, it's hard to work out sort of where the balance is with that. Tactical pauses sometimes just give you a chance to reset or give you a new way to look at things. Sometimes you sort of get tunnel vision and can't really branch out. But obviously it did help in that perspective. But you never know. Hindsight is 20/20, Joe.
It certainly is. Well, we have an interview now ready with Jacob, so I'm going to pass it over to the big, beautiful man himself. Take it away, Sean Charles.
Thank you so much, guys. I am down here with Jake M from the Working Men. Jake, it wasn't easy. Talk us through that one.
Well, to be honest, we had a really rocky start. Dust 2 was their map, but in all honesty, I think we should have won that quite easy. So many stupid mistakes, but we're just a mixed team at the end of the day, so I'm just glad we got the win. But yeah, it was a grind. It was a grind for sure.
A grind is a fair way of saying it. United Estonia obviously putting up a good fight, and it seemed like they were kind of getting you in the upper hand. What did you guys say? What did you talk about with the team to kind of pull you guys back into that one?
Yeah, well, to be honest, Dudley and Freya, they don't have the most LAN experience, so we just had to take a chill. I mean, it's really hot in there as well, so that kind of adds to the whole tension. But we just said, let's just take time, round by round, deep breaths. Like, this is the same as online. This is it. Let's just take this game.
Now, perfect segue there. This is LAN. You are here. You're walking around. You're meeting your friends, but also meeting the guys that you're up against. What does that add for you? Being here, being in the studio.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fun. It's always good playing against your friends. I mean, we're a mix, they're a mix. So at the end of the day, whoever turns up is going to win. And I think the next round is probably they should win the LAN, one of those two teams. So for us, we're just here for a bit of fun, to be honest.
Don't sell yourself short. Look, you are absolutely in the final, and you do have two teams. As you said, they'll be playing up next. Do you have a preference of who you'd like to see?
I'd probably prefer to play Infused, if I'm honest. Reason I've got quite a lot of experience. They've practiced. I mean, Infused have practiced. So either team are obviously going to be well prepared, but I'd much prefer to play Infused, if I'm honest.
Now, obviously taking nothing away from your win, but the guys from United Estonia did do a fab job. What would you say, looking to them, what do they need to do to kind of pick themselves up from this?
United Estonia, well, I think they were unlucky because they lost a player last week. So, I mean, they didn't practice, so for them, they've just turned up, they've had a laugh, and I think they do the same as us. I'm sure we'll see them out tonight somewhere.
See them out tonight for sure. I wish you the best of luck. Let you get back to the team, let you get ready underway. Anything like to say for the guys that are supporting you at home watching live?
If there is anyone supporting, thanks, but I don't think there is. That's it.
Don't sell yourself short. Guys, absolutely stick around, stay watching. We're going to take a short break. We're going to be coming right back up with the second semi-final of the day.
So, you have a lot of CSGO skins and you want to sell them? Are you tired of dealing with